All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers 17-10 victory at home, 14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. This game was an absolute mess. I feel for every single Steelers fan watching this video right now who watched that game live or just, in that time slot. I had my eye on it. Whenever it popped up on Red Zone, when I went back to watch it, I already knew the Steelers won. I can't even imagine the trip that was today. I mean, it is what it is. A bye week is perfect for this Pittsburgh Steelers team this upcoming week. But hey, man, a win is a win. We preach it on this channel all the freaking time. A win is a win. And to be quite honest with you, neither the Ravens nor the Steelers played, honestly, even just good. The defenses are great. The Ravens have a very respectful defense. They always have. It feels like Pittsburgh, we know it because they've kind of single-handedly won games like the Cleveland Browns game from the second week of the season. We know the Steelers defense is extremely good, and it's just a matter of time before the offense gets clicking. The first half, it was 10-3 Ravens. It's just weird, man. It just is very weird. I'm not going to call for Matt Canada's firing right now. I just genuinely don't believe the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is in a rhythm right now, which is perfectly fine because here's the thing. First off, actually, in your division, now you have victories over the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. While they did get a win today, it's just a much different division than it was last season. It's just open for taking. If I sat back here on the mic like we were all offseason saying, Pittsburgh could win 12 games. Pittsburgh could win 13 games. Pittsburgh could win this division. You'd look at me and you'd call me crazy. But if I said that right now, you'd be like, well, it's not very logical, but yeah, I guess I could definitely see that happening given the context of the situation. So it is what it is. But hey, Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh Steelers defense, if defense wins championships, well, Pittsburgh's probably going to win championship this season. It felt very reminiscent of that Cleveland Browns game. We'll talk about this defense. TJ Watt, literally could be an MVP candidate. I don't know if they have MVP candidates right now at this point in the season, but man, this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, they are seriously the real deal. So before we get any further into tonight's video, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Typically, we post a couple of Steelers videos every single week, but after that Texans loss, we definitely took a little bit of a break there. Hey, man, I'm just going to keep reiterating this point. A win is a win. I would so much rather, and I know every single fan, I know every single sports fan out there would agree with what I'm about to say. I would so much rather end strong than start strong. I don't want to start 5-0 if I'm ending the season 11-6. I would rather start 2-5 and finish 11-6. I'm momentum based. I want momentum. Now, here's the thing. Pittsburgh's banged up, all right? Every team is also banged up, and we'll continue to say this point as well. When I remove a wide receiver one from whatever respected franchise you are a fan of, typically your offense is going to struggle. It's just going to make your job a lot more difficult. One thing I really love about Kenny Pickett is pretty much the clutch factor, the clutch gene right now in the fourth quarter. It's not always pretty. It's not always sexy. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be miscues. But at the end of the day, Kenny Pickett did what he needed to do to win this football game. I also want to say Jaylen Warren, 9 carries for 40 yards this afternoon, 3 catches for 39 yards. I love my man Najee. I really don't know if he's injured and not disclosing it. I don't know what is going on with Najee. It feels like he lost 2 steps to just keep it a buck here. Jaylen Warren had a phenomenal rookie season. He averaged 4.9 yards per carry, and you saw it today. Najee Harris only 14 carries for only 37 yards, averaging 2.6 yards per carry. That's kind of been how the first 5 games have been for him. So I'm so glad that the Pittsburgh Steelers bye week is next week because this offense just needs to get it going. They need 2 weeks to figure it out, a game plan on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. You got the Jaguars, you got the Titans, you've got the Packers. You have some interesting teams. But once again, I just would so much rather end high than start high and fizzle out as the season progresses. The good news is, wide receiver-wise, there are things I really would love to see. First off, DJ coming back healthy. I would love to see guys like Calvin Austin III have more than 0 catches in a game. For me, that's just me personally. But George Pickens is a star. George Pickens is a star wide receiver in the National Football League, and that was very well established kind of if you watched Steelers games last season, you're like, yeah, he's certainly a rising potential star here. I would say he's more likely than not going to be a star, but so far through 5 games in the regular season, the dude's getting double teamed. He's got everybody's eyes on him with wide receiver one, Deontay Johnson being injured. George Pickens, 6 catches for 130 yards and the game-winning touchdown. Beautiful pass from Mr. Kenny Pickett. They did what they needed to do. That's just seriously the point. They did what they needed to do. And here's the thing. If the Pittsburgh Steelers, let's say they go like 10-7 in the season and they end up making the playoffs, whether you win the division or not, doesn't matter in this hypothetical. Nobody's going to go back and look at these games and be like, I'm glad we made the playoffs. I'm glad we won 10 games. But that Baltimore Ravens game, that win was so ugly. It just felt wrong. There's one thing I want to establish with the Pittsburgh Steelers this season, because defensively, they're literally that good. They won the Cleveland Browns game. I don't want to disrespect the offense for coming through and scoring 14 points. I mean, the defense had a big reason for that. Only one offensive touchdown. But it's just, I feel fine. Or, I feel fine. I want to know by the end of the season, is Kenny Pickett my guy? And 5 weeks into the season, he only played half of the year last year. Like, I'm just going to be patient with it. I urge every Steeler fan right now. I know it's not pretty. I know it's certainly not sexy. It's not explosive, but hey, just give it time. Be patient. Just be patient. All right. Defensively, I really am without speech. I'm without words on this defense. We hyped it up all offseason. Guys like TJ Watt becoming one of, if not the best defensive players in the entire National Football League. I literally, like I said in the beginning of the video, I wouldn't be surprised if he was an MVP candidate. In fact, he just should be an MVP candidate. Highsmith and TJ Watt in the fourth quarter, Alex Highsmith with the forced fumble. I mean, it just really felt like that Cleveland Browns game in that last fourth quarter. I just love the defense. And Joey Porter Jr. getting his first career regular season interception. The defense is that good. It just is that good. Now, me personally, the Ravens have never really terrified me. Lamar Jackson, I know he's a great football talent. I know he's a phenomenal athlete, but I don't know. The Ravens are just offensively and in general, they've just never really scared me, right? They did a phenomenal job defensively today. Outside of like the first quarter, Baltimore offensively looked like a complete and utter mess. Lamar Jackson, 22 of 38, only 236 yards, 0 touchdowns, and an interception. I think, the rush defense, they did give up 125 yards, but hey, man, they only gave up 10 points. They only gave up 10 points. And like I said, this isn't college football. Context matters to a certain degree, but not in the win-loss column. So the bye week's coming perfectly, and thankfully they got this victory so they can prepare for that Los Angeles Rams game, get a little bit healthy. Hopefully DJ comes back, some guys come back fully healthy, and you can pick up a win streak, right? You've got some extremely winnable games. Rams, Jaguars, Titans, Packers. I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers, in fact, I hope that they go 3-1 in that stretch, because after that, you've got some difficult divisional road games against Cleveland and Cincinnati. So it is what it is. But hey, I'm going to take 3-2. Given the way the Steelers offense has looked this season, I am going to take 3-2 every freaking day of the week. So that's it for tonight. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. But guys, give me any thoughts, any opinions you have on this Steelers team down below in the comments. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time.